All right, so Lumerian seed crystals are usually how you would tell what they look like is they're fat, usually towards the bottom, and they taper to a thinner top. They're usually clear, smoky, pink, tangerine, yellow, or blue. They are long point, deeply etched horizontal striations on alternate faces, often frosted. They're rare, and their sources Brazil, Russia, Tibet, Arkansas, and Zimbabwe, or Zambia. These deeply horizontal etched striations, they kind of look like little stairs, kind of. They for me they represent kind of like their growth, like how they grow because they taper. So as they grow from that thick bottom to that thin top, they're like they're going in. They're getting smaller. So they create this little like etched level every time they make that growth. So, because they got to taper in smaller somehow over the course of years. And when they do, they make this little etched marking so you can tell that it's done like that. Now, it happens that way because of the pressure and things of how they're being grown in the key or how they're being grown when they're buried. They're under increasing pressure, meaning as they're growing, the pressure is increasing and they're unable to grow fat and big and grow out. So they grow up and inward towards themselves, and they create these little points. Um, Now I'm reading verbatim from the text, and then I shall explain. But they are perfect tools for light workers. Lumerians hold a blessing of unconditional love for the earth as we enter a profound vibrational shift. They remind light workers to attend to their evolution as well as facilitating that of others. Ascended like a ladder, accessing inner and multidimensional states, they teach that we are many dimensioned beings and give an objective view of prior lifetimes. Piercing illusions of separateness in physical incarnation, they remind that healing is remembering our spiritual selves, and time is an illusion of physical incarnation, showing how to move beyond into all that is. Ideal to grid for angelic contact, Lumerians open a stargate anchoring ancient wisdom into the present, reawakening to spiritual training and healing abilities. They continuously reconnect past knowledge. In past life therapy, accessing before disease or destructive emotional patterns set in, they facilitate recovery of inner perfection. Excellent for chakra balancing and clearing, Lumerian wands remove karmic debris and soul imperatives, activating higher resonance of each chakra and integrating with the light body. Lumerians facilitate deep communication between physical and subtle levels of being, grounding vibrational shifts into the physical. Mentally, Lumerians teach that thoughts are creative and take on form, and harnessed to the right intent and self belief, manifest full potential. To re enter a significant dream or to obtain clarity and insight, and for conscious dreaming or dreaming up a new reality, sleep with one under your pillow. In a medicine wheel or gridded, especially when activated with celestial quartz, Lumerians open a multidimensional healing space and powerful energy portal, taking in past, present, and future, through which any part of soul evolution can be accessed and transformed. Use Lumerians with smoky celestials to anchor high vibration energy and activate a cosmic anchor for light body. Combines well with Hanksite to cleanse and purify Lumerian negative energies, transforming into positive memories that you can do. Like a laser, Lumerians cut out the disease or unworn, opening new energy channels in the subtle and physical bodies. So basically, they also help you let go and cut the cord of something you're trying to basically let go. Which, by the way, is super important because the full moon's coming up this weekend. So things that are no longer serving you in your life, that aren't working for you, and it's just stuck and stagnant feeling, you got to cut them out. You got to let them leave them behind, and then we set forward with a cleansed energy and open space for something new. If we can't let things go, we can't let new things in. Just I have the regular Lumerian seed ones, and then I have a couple, but they're good. They could just be paired with the similar crystal for accessing said chakra, because the colors really differentiate where you're going to use them for the work. Clears, obviously, master of all of them, can do anything. But like a smoky Lumerian seed, though, like I have those. Smoky Lumerian seeds are good for. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Is an efficient karmic cleanser, freeing the past and assisting understanding exactly how misuses of power in previous lives, as victim or perpetrator, created a karmic net that held you in a dense vibration. Teaching wise use of power, the stone creates an empowered soul able to operate multidimensionally with full awareness, and shows that by courageously embracing darkness and facing our shadow, we appreciate light. I do that, by the way. It's great afterwards. You feel so good. Um, yeah. So basically, if you're lost about your purpose, or lost, or just very confused on who you are, and like why you have certain skills, or why you have certain things that you do, or what your tendencies make you do, and things like that, like, and I know I used to personally, I used to get so frustrated. I would be like, why the hell do I have to have all these problems, or all these issues, or whatever? Like, how does this play out into my purpose? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how is it great that I'm weird and I get made fun of at school, kind of deal? I didn't understand any of that. And through doing that shadow work, and through meeting the true me, who I really am, it really answered a lot of those questions that you had put up there. Like, you were like, how do to help me decide things, and I'm meditating and things like that. Because of what I've learned is, we don't make decisions when it comes down to like the overall flow of where we're supposed to be in our lives. The universe takes care of that for us. The energy takes care of that for us. We are here operating our bodies, but our spiritual selves know what's best for us. And if we're not connected with that, which you cannot be if you don't face your inner shadows, then you don't get direct communication, and then you feel lost. You feel like you don't know what to do next, or how to make a certain decision, things like that. Like, if I were to tell you, I make decisions sometimes based off of the fact that a hawk comes and sits by my window every once in a while. It's true, though. Like, I never hear this hawk any other day, and every just like once in a while it'll show up. But the first time it showed up, I had the urge to go outside and see it. So when I did, and I grabbed for the door handle, someone was at my door. So now I know that the hawk means to go outside, and the crickets mean to search back something I've already learned and I missed something. The birds usually tell me literally what it is I need that time. That's not the birds, the crickets, the squirrels and stuff. It's not the hawk. It's not them telling me. What it is me being so in tune with my energy and understanding my connectivity amongst it all, that when these signals happen, I sat and I didn't think. I felt. Where did it feel? What did it make me feel like I needed to do? What did I have to do? You know what I mean? Like, that's how you read that's how I read oracle cards too. Like, how do they make me feel when it comes to this person and this picture on this card? What is it trying to express to me? What are the signs, the symbols telling me? And so we all have our own personal ones. You know what I mean? Like, a mentor of mine, she had said that she gets a light scratch on her, like somebody touching her wrist, when one of her spirit guides wants to talk to her. Now, spirit guides is a rough thing for me to accept, because like, I don't hear voices of people telling me what to do. I hear my own voice and I feel stuff. So I wouldn't necessarily say I have spirit guides yet. I am guided often places and doing things, but that's because I'm paying attention to my signs and my symbols. My ears, for instance, they ring every time, like they do a high-pitched ringing every time I'm on the right track about something, when it comes to an action, or if I'm questioning something, or a spiritual occurrence, or whatever the case may be. When I see squirrels and I ask a question of like, am I wasting my time right now? Like, if I'm outside doing something, but I feel like I'm wasting my time and I should be working, and a squirrel runs by, I know, chill the F out and hang out with the squirrel. Like, I asked that the other day. A friend of mine had come over, and he was staying for a very long time, and basically getting free guiding advice and whatever. And he bought something, so I was like letting that be all right because he is a friend of mine and he's helped me out before. But then I'm thinking, like, as he's sitting there, I had so much work to do, and I was like, am I wasting my time? Should I call it up? Should I wrap it up and tell him, like, listen, I got to get back to work? Or is it important that I sit here with him and continue the conversation? And literally 2 seconds after I said, is it important? That's when a squirrel literally ran and almost jumped on his back. That's how much I was like, okay, yeah, so I'll stay. And a good thing I did, because we figured out what his core issue was and what he's working on. And I was able to bring to light what he needed to focus on to really get over this block and this like crazy feeling he was having. Like he just was so frustrated and lost and confused and overwhelmed. And I was able to really figure it out for him and lay it out so that he can understand. So now things are going well in his, in his business and his personal life. Things are looking up. And, yeah, so I'll hear back from him in a couple weeks when he needs to be retuned. He strays often. Lost track. So, let me reread this. Okay, yeah, this whole thing, this many-dimensioned beings and give objective view to our prior lifetimes, multi-dimensional states and all that, that's really hard to read when it's, like, written like that. Basically, the thought, this is how I do it, right? Why that makes you think into anything interdimensional or anything that has to do with any inward looking or inward things, right? The reason why we think inward when we think Lumerian seed is because of the fact that when it grows, like I was explaining, it tapers itself inward. So that's where those kinds of things come up from. Like, you look at the way something has grown, its paterations, the coloration even, and that by examining and working with it and learning what that means, you then can relate it to life happenstances because we all are interconnected. So, for instance, there's a thing called self-healing quartzes. They break halfway through or whatever, they break at some point during their growth, and they literally regrow on top of themselves. So they start out with these little tiny baby bumps, and then the bumps start to grow these tiny little crystals, and the tiny crystal grows into a bigger half, basically, and completes the broken crystal point. I have a couple, I'll show you, it's pretty cool. And that's when I started learning what it really meant to work with the crystals, because I saw that inside of my what do I call them? Like it's like your main crystal, like your buddy, like I don't know. But he was like my dude at the time, like I was working with. And I'm looking inside of it, and I see this marking, like that looks like it broke, and that it was back together again. And I learned, I started reading about it, and it had said that depending on where the break has happened, it symbolizes how far back in your ancestral roots or in your like personal life, how far back like your personal break happened, like. And I'm not even sure if I read that verbatim or if that was just the guided vibe that I had gotten from it, because after reading what a self-healed crystal was, but I immediately connected it to myself, and I immediately gained hope in my future, in my life, because I was self-doubting a lot. I was like, I went backwards in my head. But then to see this crystal and to see that it's huge on top of this tiny break that was at the bottom, and it connected with me at such a pivotal moment that I knew that this crystal was telling me that I am strong. I have regrown. I am not broken no longer. And that really gave me a lot of courage, hope, self-care, self-love. Like, I was so happy about that, seeing that. And I treated myself better. I cried for a while too, because I was like, we did it, little quartz, we made it. Because it doesn't matter, we can always heal, kind of deal. And I needed that quartz to tell me that day. That's how you work with them and things like that. So, coolio. I'm going to end this guy right now because I was led to do this. And I don't know why. I just follow my impulsiveness. But it's not impulsive. It's my, as they would say, spirit guides. But anyway, I hope you found this educational in some type of way. And if you'd like to join a Lex workshop, let me know. I'd be happy to have one with you. I do one-on-one too, you know that, but also group stuff. You'd probably like my friend Eli. She's pretty sweet. So either way, digest this. Let me know how you feel about it. If you want to hang out with some Lumerian crystals and see if they dig on what they're about, let me know. We can workshop that out too. You know where I live.